Hello and welcome everybody to another MachoorTV video. As you guys know, Capcom Cup X is now undergoing. This is live right now. Matches are happening right now. Amazing matches are happening. I hope that everybody is having a good time enjoying those, amazing hype matches in Capcom Cup X. However, we are back to the buffs and nerfs topic because we got confirmation from Nunches that Ryu has been buffed, and it is a great buff. In my opinion, this is a great buff for Ryu, something that I have been requesting for a long time. People who watch this YouTube channel have seen me complain about this multiple times, have seen me request this as a buff for Ryu multiple times. We have talked about Ryu's main issues having being the Denjin system, and the Hashogeki being a move that is underwhelming. Like, it has a lot of issues, some stuff that are just doesn't make a lot of sense. As you guys can see, he says Hasho got some good buffs. El Hashogeki is now safe, and heavy Hashogeki leaves you in throw range. This is actually huge, guys. If you can watch the video here, let me just show you the video from the beginning. You guys can see that Ryu does light Hashogeki, and then Marissa mashes crouching light punch afterwards, right? So it's supposed to be a 4-framer. In the current build, it's actually -4. It's actually a punish. If Ryu does light Hashogeki and it's blocked, the opponent can punish him with a light punch if it's a 4-framer, right? However, you guys can see that Marissa over here is using her 4-framer, but it's not working. He's able to block afterwards, which means that this button right now, it's either -3 on block, or it's -2 on block, or it's -1 on block. One of those three. I don't think it's a 0. I don't think it's a plus, because you guys will see what will happen afterwards. You guys can see that he's doing it again, and it's safe on block. However, like doing like anything into a heavy Hashogeki, there is of course still a big gap in between, which will get interrupted if the opponent is looking out for that, or if they have the reactions for that, right? So however, you guys can see also that after heavy Hashogeki, Ryu right now is right in front of Marissa's face, which enables him to grab her despite her mashing light punch, because heavy Hashogeki is plus, right? So he is able to actually have a mix-up. Finally, this is the way that it should have been from the beginning, because Ken had something, still has Dragon Lash, heavy Dragon Lash, that does the exact same thing. The only difference is, heavy Dragon Lash skips neutral. It's just like getting in front of your face, kind of a move, and this is not. However, Ken had heavy, or still has heavy Dragon Lash, which if you block it, it's a mix-up. He either goes for a grab, he either goes for a button, and it's a 50-50. You have to like guess correctly, right? Here we can see Ryu doing the exact same thing. If an opponent blocks the heavy Hashogeki, it's a 50-50 for them as a defensive, somebody who's defending, right? So they either get grabbed, or Ryu presses a button and it's a counter hit for them. So this is very good. You guys can see that he's actually like also trying it out in mid-screen, like, because people might say, oh, that's only in the corner and stuff, but no, he's actually trying it in mid-screen. You guys can see that over here. Look at this. The pushback is so good. There's no pushback, like, right? Look at this. Like, his knee is literally like inside of her body, right? And he can just like mash grab afterwards and get that throw. And you guys can see, if we just go frame by frame a little bit, you guys can see that she mashed crouch light punch. Look at that. That's an animation of crouching light punch right there, and she got grabbed. It was a counter hit, and she got grabbed. So that means that this is a very good buff for heavy Hashogeki. It leaves Ryu with a lot of options. It definitely improves Ryu's offensive options, because now it's actually like blocking or doing heavy Hashogeki is a bad habit in the current build. It's a bad habit. It does not give you a 50-50 afterwards. It does not give you a mix-up afterwards, and it gets interrupted before if the opponent sees it and like if it's like a block string, it's not a block string, it's not a true block string, there's a big gap. So if you do like heavy punch or something and then do heavy Hashogeki, there's a big gap and people will interrupt that if they have the reaction, or they can perfect parry it, okay, because this Hashogeki, unfortunately, the game does not register it as a fireball, it registers it as a physical attack, which will, if you perfect parry it, okay, which happens a lot of the time, most of the time it happens, it triggers that slow animation, right? So then you get the opponent gets a full punish. I wish if they changed that, I wish if Hashogeki would become a fireball and the game would just give the opponent a the fireball perfect parry animation, so then they don't have a lot of time to like, you know, get like a proper punish and all that. But however, that's something else for a different for a different patch. Maybe they will patch it in the big patch, who knows, right? So we also got confirmation for the Denjin Hashogeki. Denjin Hashogeki right now, it does the exact same thing. It leaves you in throw range just the exact same way as heavy Hashogeki, and it's still +3, so that's a very good confirmation that the fact that heavy Hashogeki works the same as or Denjin Hashogeki works the same as heavy Hashogeki, so you don't lose that mix up if you have Denjin. This is a very good buff for heavy Hashogeki and also for light Hashogeki. Let's not, you know, forget about that. Light Hashogeki being safe on block is actually a very important buff for you. It enables him to have, like, you know, more pressure, more confidence in using that button, which is actually that special move, which is actually a very good special move because you know, it can bait people who are, you know, trying to parry during your block strings. I use that a lot. Sometimes because it has like short range, so sometimes during a block string I would end the block string with it and I know it's gonna whiff, and people always try to parry Hashogekis, so it just leaves me in a range where I can just walk up and grab them and get a punish counter because they're trying to parry stuff. Also, there is a big factor in terms of light Hashogeki, the fact that, you know, it launches people once it clips anything. If you press any kind of button and it's a counter hit for Ryu with a light you know, Hashogeki, it launches them, which enables you to have like a combo, or either just do a Tatsu or just drive rush and do like a full-on air combo with that, so, or juggle combo with that. So that's very, very important. In the corner, of course, it can set up like, you know, safe jumps and whatnot. So it's a very good tool. It's a very good tool to use, light Hashogeki, and the fact that it's safe on block. I'm not sure about the frame data because these builds, they don't have any kind of training modes in them. They just have, you know, the regular, you know, versus, you know, modes, so they're not sure about the frame data, but I think that it might be -3. My you know, intuition says that it might be -3. I don't think it would be -1, which still would be, you know, it would be really good. You know why? Because light Hashogeki being safe on block, being -3, -2, or -1, that means that in burnout it's actually gonna be a loop, because if the opponent is a burnout, everything that you do gets +4 frames, right? So if it's -3, then now it becomes +1, right? So if you do light Hashogeki and then you press light punch, right afterwards, you're always gonna have the turn. If light Hashogeki is blocked, then you press light punch afterwards. You're always gonna have the turn. And if the opponent presses anything, even a light punch, you are gonna get a counter hit, right? So what if they don't press anything and you can just do light punch, light Hashogeki, light punch, light Hashogeki, you know, and that's just gonna like chip a lot of damage from them. I don't know how the pushback is gonna be in that case. Maybe it will work in the corner, maybe not. Maybe you're gonna have to, like, you know, mix things up a little bit with like light kick or something. We're still not 100% sure, but that opens up a lot of opportunities, especially if they make it -1. So that means that, you know, it's gonna be +3, which enables you to start using other buttons instead of light punch in between the Hashogekis, like medium punch, then light Hashogeki, and that can give you like a loop in Burnout. I hope that I'm not confusing you guys. It's just like something that that will enable Ryu to do better damage or better block swings or better pressure during Burnout, which is something that Ryu definitely needs. Like any kind of like offensive tools or the offensive buffs definitely will help Ryu's case. However, I just wish if they would, you know, let you choose when to use Denjin. That is something that is very important for Ryu. I don't think that this character will be fixed completely until they give him this buff, right? We have requested for the heavy Hashogeki buff, you know, where the pushback is minimized. Like why? And even if it's blocked, if it's plus frames, you're away from them, you're not in front of their face, so it's not an actual mix-up. It's not an actual mix-up, it's trash. However, we need to be able to choose when to use Denjin. If I have Denjin charge, which is difficult to get, I need to be able to throw light Hashogeki, throw, you know, heavy Hashogeki or medium Hashogeki, and throw the light fireball, heavy fireball, whatnot, and still be able to use the Denjin version of those two special moves whenever I please. Right, that should be the case. They should make like a new input for the heavy for the Denjin Hadouken and the Denjin Hashogeki. That should be a buff that is so simple to do and so, like, you know, it doesn't take a lot of thinking. It doesn't take a lot of thinking. It will help Ryu a lot. I just wish if they would eventually give him that buff, and on top of this, just make Hashogeki a fireball, right? Make the game consider Hashogeki as a fireball, not a physical attack. I think that will help. That will also help slightly, but not to a big extent, but it will help a little bit. So yeah, these are great buffs for Ryu, but I think that, you know, still there are some adjustments that need to be done in terms of the Denjin system. That's definitely still a bad system for Ryu. Hashogeki, for the most part, it's fixed right now with these buffs. I think that fixes the special move. However, it's still, you still need the Denjin charge. They work together. The Denjin buff, it has to come eventually, and that will also improve Hashogeki itself, and of course Fireball and Ryu's overall game plan. So what do you guys think about these buffs? Let me know down in the comments if you guys, you know, like what you guys are seeing from these buffs. Do you guys think that they should buff him more? Do you think this is OP? Do you think this is too much? Or do you think this is underwhelming? You know, I'm definitely excited for this. I can't wait to play the Ed build or the Ed update once it comes out on the 27th. So with that said, thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.